everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of Lesbian versus Bisexual, Pansexual.
All of the above.
I haven't done an episode of Lesbian versus Bisexual in a very long time. So I'm excited to bring the show back with you.
Yeah.
But for any of you who aren't familiar, this is Holly.
Hey guys.
She was a finalist on the season of The Bachelorette Australia that we watched together start to finish. And she was a fan favorite. When you came out in that red dress and you did the little dance, there was chemistry, there was consent. It was everything that my little lesbian heart desired. And so thank you for giving us that moment, and thank you for being here to answer some questions.
Yeah, you're welcome for both.
Yeah. Hi everybody. For any of you who don't know me, my name's Elena Joy. I make videos on this channel mostly about the queer community, sex, dating, relationships, but sometimes
Sprinkle it in.
I sprinkle in a little Holly.
It's a little sprinkle of Holly.
So I went over to my Instagram, which if you don't follow me on Instagram, that's where the magic happens. And I asked you all for questions. I didn't tell them who the guest was.
So they have no idea who they're asking.
They have no idea who they're asking. So I wonder what we're gonna get. Is there anything that you want to say before we get started?
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Love a little girlfriend gas bag.
Oh, I haven't heard that one before. Is that
a little gas bag? Maybe that's Australian. Just
a
when you
little
like
gas bag?
you have a little chit chat when you go and I'm gonna have a little gas bag with my girlfriends.
It sounds kind of gross.
It does a little bit now that I think about it.
But sure, we can have a gas bag. You know what? It's my accent. It doesn't sound as nice in mine. So the idea behind this series is bringing on people within the queer community who have like differing viewpoints in some way.
Awesome.
So today we have a gay
And a bi. That's what my grandma calls me.
Oh, really?
When I first came out, basically. She turned to me one day and she tapped me on the shoulder and she was like, "Are you a bi?" Yeah, I am a bi.
What does she think about the bis?
She is not a fan of the bis,
Okay.
but she is a big fan of the lesbians.
Oh.
She was like, "Can you just pick one?" And I was like, okay. I was dating a woman at the time. I was like, "I'm a lesbian, Omar." She's like, "Oh, I love you so much. Love whoever you want. You're perfect. Doesn't change anything." And I was like, "Unless I was bisexual." She was like, "Yeah." I was like, okay. Maybe because she had to pick one, everyone has to pick one.
I like that take. I think there are a lot of repressed grandmas out there.
I'll ask her.
Oh my god, you should. Well, the first one that showed up here is, would you ever have a relationship with a guy?
Yes. Yep. I have in the past. My first few long-term relationships were with men. I'm still, unfortunately, attracted to them.
I thought you picked a side, though.
I did. In my Omar's eyes, I've picked my side. But I think the more that I date women, and like right now being in a relationship with a woman, I cannot picture my future at all without her, let alone with a man.
Okay, I'm glad to have you here for some of these questions because I used to think I was bi. Thought I was bi for many, many years. Long story short, I made a lot of content
about being bi.
I made a lot of content, period. Let's just say full stop. That's the sentence. I made a lot of content about being bi. I stand behind that content because the premise was that bisexuality is real and valid and, you know, all of these things that I stand by. I'm curious how my experience, because I was never actually bi. I thought I was. The perspective that you can bring to some of these questions and how that would different from like a person who's actually bisexual.
There are so many little stones in the pond of the queer community. That stepping stone from straight to bi, as you figure out who you are, being in a heteronormative world, that's very valid. And at that time, I have no doubt that that's what you felt, as it's sure what a lot of people feel, figuring out who they are. They just jumped to another stone. I'm on the bisexual stone, and I'm quite happy on my little stone in my little pond. And that's okay. Everyone is going to end up on a different stone in the one pond. It doesn't make your experience any less real. It doesn't make my experience any less real, or that I just haven't figured out who I am. It's all just part of the process, and we all stop at different points.
Oh my god, can you just come on the channel every day and answer questions? I'm really glad to hear you say that, because when I kind of had to re-come out and like, I was like, whoops, uh-oh, I'm on another stone. I was so afraid that that experience and the sharing of that experience was going to like validate negative stereotypes that people hold about bisexuality, and I did not want to be a part of that. So it's really lovely for you to come on here and say like, look, just because somebody thinks that this is their label and then discovers that it's not, that doesn't make the label itself and those who carry that label any less valid.
Not at all.
And that's really important.
I wanted to be an astronaut when I was 5 years old. I now don't want to be an astronaut at 30 years old. But what I felt then was real and valid, and that, you know, it's the same thing, just in sexuality.
Vocation is an interesting parallel in a way, because you could say that you had an idea of what being an astronaut would be like, and then as you got older and actually started to experience life and learn more about astronauts and what it would actually feel like to become an astronaut, you were like, that doesn't
fit me anymore.
Now I want to be a lesbian when I grow up.
Astronaut to lesbian, it's a canon event, really.
That's the pipeline.
It's the pipeline.
But before we get to the rest of the questions, I want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this week's video, June's Journey. I've been getting more and more into phone games lately. I've been finding that a way to calm my mind and just relax for a minute is to play June's Journey. The game is for mobile devices. It's free to download, where you are trying to solve a murder mystery. This is another one of those games that's like kind of dark, and I love it. Like, how can something be so dark and so calming at the same time? And you are trying to solve the mystery of this murder. And the way that you do it is by finding hidden objects in these beautiful scenes. And these objects that you're finding are clues to solve the mystery. And then as you play, you get rewards, so you can like customize and remodel your mansion and garden island. So just to give you an example, so at the bottom it tells you like what you're trying to look for in the scene. So like family portrait, camera. Ooh, and if you do it fast enough, you get a bonus. And I am one step closer to solving the mystery. But you can download June's Journey for free using the link in my description or by scanning the QR code on my screen. It's available for both Android and iOS devices, as well as on PC through Facebook Games. So if you're looking for a way to have a little bit of me time, check out June's Journey. It's a lot of fun. There's a bunch of questions about how to put yourself out there. Any advice on how to get a girlfriend or boyfriend? How do I find more queer friends? Yeah, questions like that.
Oh, okay. How to find more queer friends is a difficult one. And I think it's like super dependent on the areas in which you live. Trying to, as much as you can, align yourself in those queer-centric areas. There are heaps of Facebook groups, there are TikTok groups, there are Instagram groups and pages on queer events in your city. It takes a little bit of digging, but yeah, if you're able to align into those cities, you'll be able to find something on social media or hashtags or through TikTok videos and stuff like that.
Yep. The internet is huge for that. Go to the climbing gym. Have you ever tried climbing? That is gay.
I didn't realize it was such a lesbian thing until like a year ago.
What was your moment of discovery?
I actually think it was one of your videos that may have prompted it. Back when you did the first episode of watching the Bisexual Bachelorette.
Okay.
Someone sent it to me, or it came up on my TikTok, and then I went on a stalking thing and saw that you're a climber.
Okay.
And then...
Sorry, Holly, from the first episode?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad that all of the things that I have said about you over and over and over again, I'm so glad that you have been there to witness it. I totally made it. Definitely not thinking that this would be something between just me and my community, you know? So that's good. Okay, that's good information to have.
There's something for everyone on the internet.
Including strangers watching your television series and drooling over you for a year straight.
It's great. I mean, I've got something to go back to if I ever don't feel good about myself, you know?
Oh, okay. Okay, happy to provide that. Sorry, where were we? How about when did you know you were queer?
I remember kissing my friend Harriet at a party when I was like 14. And then it wasn't truly until my early 20s that I was like, maybe I want to more than kiss her. I grew up also in the country, like a small country town, where I only knew 2 women ever who identified as lesbian, so I didn't even know about the possibility of bisexuality.
My story is so similar to yours, it's not even funny.
But that's a really, I think, a really difficult spot to be in, especially if you figure it out quite late in your life and you might have a long-term partner or be married with kids or you know, whatever it is, but you don't need external people to validate how you're feeling.
I'm like, it doesn't matter what your actual experience with other people has been, quantity or quality or whatever. If you feel like you are attracted to women, that you did it.
Then that's it.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's all that.
Well done.
Yeah. You're in. Here's your card. You're part of the club.
Do you feel like there is kickback from people in the community when they hear straight passing people say that they think they're bi?
I think we're getting better because there's a lot more understanding about how complicated sexuality is, and it's not as simple as just you come out of the womb and you know. I'm like walking. Exactly. It took you until your 20s to be like, I think I might be queer.
Yeah.
It took me until almost my 30s to be like, I think I might be a raging homosexual. It's not as simple as just knowing.
No.
And I think that there's more understanding of that, and so therefore less kind of biphobia. But I also don't want to say that it doesn't still happen, because I'm sure that it does, but not here. So if you're watching this video, you can come back over here, you can hang out with us. Like, your curiosity about yourself is valid. Ooh, favorite gay film?
Okay, I've got two. Well, my first one, which is my absolute favorite movie all time, which isn't necessarily queer exactly, but She's the Man with Amanda Bynes.
Okay. That's probably the only acceptable thing you could have followed that preamble with.
Absolute bloody banger. I love that film. So it's not exactly queer, but it does lend a little bit into the realm of bisexuality, which maybe is why I love it so much. And I recently watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Oh.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Like, if you haven't, or like, I have never been wrecked the way that movie wrecked me.
And just so relatable, I think. I mean, it happened in ye old France in
the ye old times.
In the ye old times. But just like the softness and the outcome and beautiful.
Oh my god. Yes. That one, I would also recommend that. Ooh, okay. Because you said you also live with your partner, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone asks some roses and thorns about living together.
I'm going to sound super gay. I actually don't have any thorns.
Neither do I. It's literally, oh my god. Okay, say more.
I came into like the living situation a bit traumatized. My last partner split up with me the day that we got an apartment together. It was a very rough breakup.
Oh no.
So when I first moved in, I was freaking out. And she just made the whole experience so wonderful. And anytime I had a wobbly or a teary or a breakdown, she didn't get mad. She didn't question anything. She just asked me what I needed. It took me like a full week to move in, but it's been fantastic. I get to live with my best friend and the love of my life. Nothing has been an issue. It's just been so seamless.
It's like a sleepover. It's like a forever sleepover.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to pick a thorn, I'll try to think of one. The first thorn that comes to mind is like also kind of a rose, but like you are now built in spending time with your favorite person 24/7. So it becomes harder to like make commitments to do other things. because you're like, but I already have my favorite one.
But I don't need to go anywhere. What do you mean I have to leave my bed?
Exactly. And I think this comes with like, as you live with someone for longer and longer, you get better at it. But like, you need to actively work to not lose yourself. Maybe that's just a kind of a thorn generally with relationships or living with a partner, is you have to actively make a conscious effort to not lose your individual identity and ways you like to spend your time and things.
Yeah, I would 100% agree on that.
Oh, what are your sun, moon, and rising signs? Do you know?
Oh, okay. I am a Aries rising, an Aries sun, and a Leo moon.
Okay, I always get the moon and rising confused, but I'm like 90% sure that I'm an Aries. I know I'm an Aries sun, Libra rising, Leo moon. I'm pretty sure.
Good.
Wow. So you're double Aries.
Double Aries, triple fire sign.
Double Aries. Wow. Okay. Oof, Kira, watch out. What annoys you about lesbians? This is a good one for lesbian versus bisexual.
I haven't experienced it, but I've heard of it and friends have. When lesbians use the term gold star lesbian, and you're not truly a lesbian if you've been with a man. I think that's almost privilege that they've had to know who they are from such a young age, being pushed onto someone who hasn't had the same privilege.
Yep.
Makes me mad.
That's a gross one. Not to mention the transphobia in that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother layer.
I am with you. Gold star lesbian needs to go. Me and a couple of my friends, for any of you who don't listen to the Chosen Family podcast, it's linked in the description. My friend came up with the term purple heart lesbian.
Purple heart lesbian.
She was saying that women who are now queer and don't date men who have been with men in the past, they're the ones that really put in the work. They're the ones that have really done their time. They've done their service. So they deserve a purple heart.
I love that. We have done our market research.
Listen,
we know
we did our time.
That we are queer.
We did our market research.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. What is your gayest non-sexual moment that you can remember?
Probably watching women's sports.
No, I said non-sexual.
Non-sexual, oh gosh.
No, I'm just kidding. Watching women's sports is fine.
There was a very funny video going round. It was a reporter or a journalist asking people, oh, do you know that there's a male version of the Matildas, who are our female soccer team? And the thought of watching a male soccer game, I'm like, I'd rather not.
Well, even calling it a male soccer game, like that's the gayest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. There's no such thing as women's soccer. There's soccer and men's soccer.
Yeah.
Let's end on, what's your best life advice?
The two that like immediately spring to mind are, if you don't ask, it's a no.
Oh.
And then the second one is just do it.
That's so innovative. I've never heard that before. Did you come up with that yourself?
Probably not.
Just it's the Nike slogan.
Oh, it is just Nike. I heard it somewhere. It's like a lot of things in life. The worst thing that would happen is that you'll stay exactly as you are.
Ooh.
So what is the harm in asking or trying or doing?
That is excellent. Mine's kind of cliche and broad, but just the general overarching one is like, be yourself.
Yeah. And
not in the cliche way, but in the like, take the risk, shoot your shot, ask the question, try the thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, because you have just got one life. Just one, you know,
it.
And you can't live it for other people. The kind of slogan that comes to mind, or words I tell myself often, think big, start small, act now.
Nice.
It can be as small as take a deep breath.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh, I love that. Life advice.
And we did it.
Oh.
That was your questions for today that we're going to answer. Thank you for sending them in. If you didn't get a chance, it's probably because you don't follow me on Instagram. What are you doing with your life? That's where the magic happens. I keep telling you. Holly's Instagram will also be linked in the description, along with all sorts of fun stuff. It's a party down there. I recommend you go check it out.
I've had so much fun. It's been a great morning. I love that you watched the season. I love that it made its way international.
I want to say that I love that you watched me watch the season, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm still working through my feelings around that.
We'll sit on it.
Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, an extra thank you to my VIP patrons, my vitally important producers. You all make this world go round. And another thank you to June's Journey for partnering with me on this video. Remember, you can download the game for free if you use the link in my description or scan the QR code on your screen. It's a fun and satisfying game, and I'd recommend you check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. My dog is about to come running in here.
Hello!
Hello!
My handsome boy.
Come on, say hi.
Oh, look at his little
Come say hi.
neckerchief.
Hello, did you have a good day at work?
You're so beautiful. What's his name?
Good one. Julio, he's from Mexico.
Oh, Julio.
Did you come from Mexico?
Do you make your mama margaritas?
No, he's a real failure in that department, actually.